gentlemen. So today, 3 memos from the Ministry of Art, Culture, Tourism and the Creative Economy were approved. The first was the establishment of a tourism and cultural economic zones. This economic zone is going to be across the country, the 6 geopolitical zones and the FCT. And really, these economic zones will help us to leverage on the regional strength. The ministry is actively working and signing MOUs with the different states, looking at the unique peculiarity of every single state. So every state working together with the federal will tell us what they want projected in terms of culture, creativity, and tourism. So these economic zones will allow us also to approach, when it comes from the angle of tourism, to approach tourism from the same angle that they're doing, for example, in Mexico with Cancun, Al Ula in Saudi Arabia, whereby we build on a tourism destination such as Obudu or Yankari or Cocoa Beach, and then we can project and brand those as standalone tourism destinations. So it's not really Nigeria per se, but it is Nigeria. And, this is, I think, a very smart way of branding tourism. And the council today approved these tourism zones. And the second was the development of adoption of the tourism brands. Of course, we know Detty December is just around the corner. It has actually really started in Lagos. And Homecoming East, Capital Vibes, and there's a very big one called Niger Season. Niger Season has been developed by NCAC, and it covers all the Nigerian festivals from January down to December from all across the state. So these brands have been adopted as a national catalyst for tourism and creative industry, and it becomes a presidential initiative. For Detty December, we have asked the President to establish a presidential task force on Detty December that will allow all the different interdependencies that we need, the different MDAs, aviation, interior, power, that we need to ensure that we provide the international community with the destination for Detty December, and of course, provide the support that Lagos State needs from the federal government so that we can really maximize on the potential of Detty December and other festivals around the country, and also to build it as a global brand. And that's a really important one, because we know that the private sector will also get involved. The third that was approved was the establishment of the Presidential Council on Tourism Promotion and Investment. This is a restructured and reactivated version of the Presidential Council of Tourism that was first established in 2023. It's very important because, like I mentioned earlier on, when it comes to tourism, it's not only the Ministry of Tourism, it relies on a number of interdependencies in order for us to deliver tourism brand. So this specific council will allow us to really build Nigeria's positive global image, especially at this extremely crucial time when Nigeria must stand and show the world our unity, our peaceful coexistence, and a stability to the global community. So this council will be chaired by His Excellency, the President, and of course the Honourable Minister of Art Culture as a Vice Chairman of the Council, and there will be an establishment of a secretariat in the Ministry. And lastly, the other memo that was really approved, it wasn't presented by my ministry, but it was presented by the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, but it really cuts across our ministry. Our ministry, or rather our industry, the creative industry specifically, is really foundational based on intellectual property. Everything is about intellectual property. We have worked very hard together with the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment and the Ministry of Justice. I mean, Dr. Doris initially worked on it, and Dr. Jumoke is really working also very hard on it, and the Attorney General. general to do a very robust and intricate stakeholder engagement, very holistic one for the last a year and a half that really included all the different sectors within the industry. And we have been able to come up with an intellectual property that will allow us to develop something that will also allow the private sector to get involved and also allow us as an industry or as a ministry to give creatives the ability to use their IP as collateral. That way they're able to raise funding on their own based on their intellectual property. So I want to commend the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment that presented this particular memo, and the Ministry of Justice that also collaborated on the memo. And, you know, I think it's better, bigger days for the creative industry for this specific memo. And, you know, intellectual property, like I said, is foundational to the industry. Thank you.